Yo, what is going on? This is your boy, ThatGuyFace with Face the Music Media. We are back again for another episode of How I Synth. In this video, we will be covering Sonic Project's OPX Pro. Let's jump into it.
Oh yeah. Oh my my. Oh yeah. Face the music.
So I have the initialized patch here. By default, for this initialized patch, oscillator 2 is the only one that's activated. So I'm gonna come over here and click on oscillator 1, and let's hear what that sounds like. Cool. Like in my other videos, I like to do posts with modulation and stuff like that, but I think for this one, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. So what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm going to create a arpeggiated sound. So basically what we want to do is you wanna come down here and click on the ARP button and sync it to the tempo. Now, let's go ahead and click ARP on. Now that we've actually activated the ARP, we have to actually come down here and choose an arpeggiator mode. Now, this synth is extremely deep when it comes to programming and really sophisticated, actually. You can go in and edit each individual voice, you can pan them, and you can get some really crazy sounds. Let's just go ahead and jump in and see what we can come up with. Nice. So right off the jump, I mean, without even doing much editing, I'm already getting a really nice sound. If I map out these controls to my controller and just kind of freestyle with the cutoff and resonance, I can get some really dope sounds. So now I'm going to go ahead and activate the envelope for the filter, and let's go ahead and see what we can get out of that. Nice. Nice. So another thing I like to do inside of this synth is mess with the effects. They have some really nice effects in here. So let's go in, let's click the on button to activate the effects. Click edit. You have a delay and a reverb. Go ahead and sync the delay to the BPM. And let's go ahead and see what we can get. Nice. To create a nice thickness and variation to the sound, I like to detune the oscillators slightly. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what that sounds like. Sweet. So already we've got a really nice arpeggiated sound right now. So let's go ahead and mess around with some of these other functions. One thing I like to do with the synth is mess around with the XMD functionality. So basically when you activate that, you come up here and just raise this value and you can get some really interesting sounds. So let's check it out. Reduce this reverb a little bit. Nice. So I'm going to come over here and actually take these down an octave. I want to see what it sounds like on a lower register. Yeah, I like that. So the next thing I want to do is I want to map out my controls here to my actual MIDI. And I'm going to do some, messing around with just some automation on the fly. So in order to do that, you just hit Command M on a Mac. It's going to take you to your MIDI mappings. Basically, you click on the actual value that you want to control with your controller, and then you move the control that you want to use to control that value. Once you do that, you hit Command M, get out of that mode. And then when you play it back, you can just, mess with the values on the fly. Nice. So one thing I want to do, I like the way that resonance sounds. I kind of want to automate that resonance to where it goes all the way up and then backs off, all the way and backs up, just to give the ARP some variation of sound. So let's go ahead and come over here to this Max for Live LFO, activate that. Let's go ahead and click on Map. And I'm going to choose the resonance. Basically, I want the resonance to go from here to here and kind of just sweep back and forth. Let's go ahead and automate that with the Max for Live LFO. So I'm going to label this resonance. Let's see here. Let's go to here, and I'm going to leave that on sync. You could do sync or free mode, and then I'm going to choose, let's go with 1/8 and see how that works. Now, as you can see, the resonance is going crazy, and I only want it to go from this dot to this dot. So let's go ahead and work on that. So I'm gonna offset it. And as you can see, it's already going from like 12 o'clock to about 5 o'clock. Now what I wanna do, slow that down. Okay, so it's still going too deep down, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the phase. Take that down some more. Now we're getting closer. Take that depth down a little bit more. Let's see what we got. Yep. So now I'm gonna slow the rate down some more. Now you can already hear the effect that it's having on the sound. So now I'm gonna mess around with the cutoff and the envelope and see what that sounds like. Now you can hear how certain times it actually, will go all the way up and you can hear that little squeal and then it backs off of that squeal. I love that. So let's go ahead and add some effects to the sound and see what we can come up with. I'm gonna come over here and go to Erosion, and I love the way Bitcrusher sound after a reverb. For some reason, that tail of the reverb with the right distortion or Bitcrusher, it'll really make some really nice sounds. So let's just take a listen. Nice. So we're gonna back off of that. So next what I'm gonna do is give it more of the analog feel. So what I'm gonna do is go to the Neve plugin by UAD, 1073 to be exact. So basically what I wanna do is drive the input, and I've turned the volume all the way down because when you drive the input, it gets louder. So let's go ahead and take a listen and see what that sounds like. So you can hear the distortion. Let's back off of that. Nice. So now we can go through and really shape the sound with the EQ. So let's go ahead and activate that, and let's go ahead and shape the actual tone of the sound. I'm going to start off with knocking off some of the bottom end. Now let's take a listen. So let's go ahead and get to toning this thing up. So usually what I like to do with EQ is boost the gain all the way up and then slowly sweep through the frequencies, find the ones I like and boost those. So let's go ahead and do that. You can hear more of the ringy sound from that frequency. So it doesn't take much just boost a little bit. You don't want to overdo it, but you can slightly hear the little ring in there. I love that. So let's go to the next band here. Let's listen without the processing, and then we'll listen with the processing. Without. With. Without. With. You can really hear. Man, that sounds good. So you can really hear the different parts of the synth that kind of shine through this need. So basically what I like to do after that is I like to come over to Oxide Tape is my go-to. If Oxide Tape doesn't work, then I'll use Studer by UAD, but let's go ahead and try Oxide Tape first. So basically it's just gonna add a little bit of warmth and a little bit of fuzziness. So let's go ahead and take a listen. Let's drive the input so we can hear the sound of the plugin. So basically with this plugin, if you want a bump in the low end, you keep the EQ on NAB. If you want a kind of a little dip in the low mids, then you put it on the CCR mode. So let's take a listen. Let's try the NAB mode. So the NAB mode brings out the lower end, the CCR mode brings out the higher end. Nice. It's almost like looking in a window with blinds. Like you can't really see. And then when they open the blinds, it's like, oh, I can see. It's so crazy what the UAD plugins can do for these sounds. I wasn't going to do this at first, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm dying right now. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on the SoftTube Tape. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you already know I love the sound of this plugin. So basically what I like to do is come over here and I don't know, SoftTube needs to update this plugin because whenever you open it, this is how it looks. At least on my computer anyway. But then once I click on that, it goes away. But anyway, what I'm going to do, since I want that lo-fi sound, I'm going to take the tape speed down. So I like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here to the speed stability. Increase that to get the wobble. So you can hear when you increase that wobble, it creates this inconsistency in the pitch, and it's very subtle. For some reason, when I use this plugin, sometimes it's a heavier wobble, sometimes you can't really hear it. So it depends on what you're feeding into it. It reacts differently to different sounds. It's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna back off of that. You can boost this high frequency trim here, and it'll basically, it's just a filter. So you can either boost the high end or cut it if you want it to sound even more dirty or if you want it to sound more bright. Super bright. And now it's not. Man, that sounds so good. All right, so the next thing I like to do with this plugin, man, I just love this trick, and that is the natural flange effect from the tape. So let's reduce the dry wet, and it creates this natural flange. Let's go ahead and take a listen. So you can go ahead and increase that if you want to reduce the flange. Nice. So let's hear it with the plugin and then without the plugin. Without. With. I'm gonna back off of some of that flange. Without. With. Without. With. Nice. That's sick. So anyway, that's it for this video, man. This is your boy ThatGuyFace again. Face the Music Media. Do me a huge favor. If you got any value out of this video, hit it with a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, man. What was your favorite part of the video? Tell me, what are some of the techniques that you use when you're messing around with your synthesizers? Do you create patches from scratch? If not, let me know. What's some of the hardest things that you find that you face when you're trying to learn or use a synthesizer? So anyway, ThatGuyFace signing out, man. Peace.